In this lecture, we are going to see what is use case and the use case diagram for next gen POS system. Let us try to understand what is use case with a very simple example we see in our day-to-day life. For example, consider I wish to build a house. We know that a house is a bunch of walls thrown together to hold up a roof that keeps out of weather. Now you just tell me whether we sit with the architect with the same purpose. No, we give strong consideration of how we are going to use that house while we sit with the architect. We give him several inputs like reasoning of how the family is going to use the house. It's an example of use case based analysis. Need of large family is different from nuclear family. These variations will have strong impact on designing the final outcome. So now what I am trying to say is the use of that particular house, who is going to use, what purpose they are going to use. This defines the architectural diagram. Similarly, now you think the house as your system. So the purpose of defining use case is to define what is the use of that particular software, who is going to use it. This and all we have to consider while defining use case. The use case diagram serves the same purpose. It's going to define the use case analysis of the software development which is under consideration. These are some of the key input we give to the developer. What is my goal as a user in using the system? Why do I want to use that system? The functional requirements, specifications of the software to be developed play a major role in defining use case. Now let us define what is use case formally. They show the functionality that the system will provide. They show which users will communicate with the system in some way that it provides that functionality. So these are some of the use case symbols we use to draw a use case diagram for the given project. First, actor. This actor is represented by a stickman. It can be a people or a thing or even a system. Who would benefit from the system is called as actor. Next, use case, which is used to represent capabilities. The ellipse represents use case. This is used to represent the capabilities of a system. Next, connectors. This used to indicate how actors and use case are associated with each other. Now we dig deeper into the connector line. We have two different connectors. One is plain connector, which shows which actors are related to the use cases. Next one is dashed line with directional arrow. This is referred to as dependency. The arrow points to the use case it depended on. Look at the diagram given here. Here employer is an actor. Actually he is a person who is going to use the system. So the connection line to create job represents that this actor is related to the use case create job listing. That is the capability. Now this create job listing is connected with the login capability with the help of dashed line. This represents this create job listing depends on login. The directed line with hollow triangle represents generalization or inheritance. Representing the child actor or use case is an instance of base actor or use case. Arrows points towards the thing on which they are expanding. Consider the diagram given here. Create job listing is a base class, whereas create priority based listing is the child class. Since this child class, child use case, it's not a class here, it is a use case. The child use case inherits properties from create job listing. The direction is represented towards it. The arrow mark points that the the child class inherits properties of base class. The include and extends relationship shows dependency between two use cases. Include relation represents the dependent use case is intended to reuse the dependent on use case. For example, consider create job listing which includes login. So here the dependent use case is create job listing. This is dependent on login use case. Then the extends relationship is used to add more detail to the dependency. It means that it's adding more detail into it. For example, consider here view listing, log viewed listing extends view listing. It means that this log view listing inherits the property of view listing. In addition to that, it adds more detail into view listing. So these are the operations and symbols we use to draw use case diagram in object oriented analysis and design model. So this use case diagram is more important, must be dealt carefully, because using this use case diagram we are going to represent the requirements of the user, so that if this use case is right, so that the developer will end up with the right product. Next generation POS is the use case study given in our syllabus. So what is next gen point of sale system? Now let us try to understand this. Now this next gen POS is the replacement for cash register that adds many computer services to the traditional cash register. Now consider when you go for supermarket, how the cashier will maintain the register and how the stock, the inventory system will be maintained. You think of after purchasing all the items, the computer generated bill will be given to the cashier. So will be paying cash to the cash register. He'll be filing all the bills, so that he will do auditing later. This is how the earlier system was. Similarly, the audit, the stock manager, inventory manager will keep up the stock up to date based on the requirement of the customer. He will update the stock by collecting details from the the cashier, right? From the person, from the manager. This process, this computer services, or the traditional system is replaced by next generation point of sale system, where everything is replaced by a single entity. These are some of the tasks of next generation POS system. Record sales, handle payments, control inventory, print receipts. It is easy to use. It must be easy to use. Touchscreen interface, multi-node vending system, and finally it should be a distributed one. I think this process sales steps will make you understand next gen POS better. Consider you are going to the supermarket to purchase some items. So what are the steps we follow? We go to the supermarket, we collect all the items or groceries we want. Then finally we go to the point of sale system, to the cashier. So from that point the steps starts, right? So the customer arrives at POS system, check out with goods to purchase. So we will give him, these are the goods I purchased. You make a bill ready. I am ready to pay and tell you, right? So what the cashier do? He will start as a new sale. Next customer means it's a new sale, right? The cashier enters item by the identifier one by one. The system records sale line item and presents item description, price and running total. So for example, if you are choosing some item biscuit packet, suppose currently if it is if the available count is 50, means after you purchased, the item count should be decremented to 49, so that with the help of this information, the inventory manager will do updation. To update the stock, he will come and collect information from here. So this is what the fourth point says. The price calculated from a set of price rules, right? So the system records sales line and also it keeps stock up to, it updates the stock. The fifth step, what we are doing, the cashier repeats the step 3 to 4 until done with all items. Whatever the items we chosen, he has to repeat step 3 to 4, 3 and 4 iteratively. So after after adding all the items, what he does, system presents total with taxes calculated. It automatically calculates tax for the groceries we have chosen and it presents this is the total amount you have to pay. Next, the cashier tells customer the total and asks for payment. The customer pays and system handles payment. System logs completed sale and sends sales and payment information to the external accounting system and inventory system to update inventory. The system prints receipt. Customer leaves with receipt. So these are the steps we follow. Hope you understand what is the process steps for next gen POS IT. Now we are going to draw use case diagram for the steps we have shown here. Now we are developing next gen POS system. System boundary. So now we will identify what are the system boundaries, actor and capabilities involved here. Here cashier is the external entity, inventory system, payment authorization system. Internal entities are the point of sale system, complete payment handling. Now you can understand this better later. Now let us move to, the first step is to identify actor. There are two different actors. One is primary actor and secondary actor. Now let us identify the primary actors of this next gen POS. So cashier is the primary actor and then the manager and administrator. These are the primary actors for this next gen POS. Whereas the secondary actors are the customer, the payment authorization system and inventory system. It means that the secondary actors depends on the primary actor. Right. Here comes the next gen POS use case diagram. So on the left hand side you have cashier, manager and administrator. These are the primary actors, whereas on the right hand side we have secondary actors. So this primary actors and secondary actors are interacting, are related with the help of use case, right? So that symbol, the stickman represents actor. Here we have 3 different primary actor and 2 different secondary actor and 3 use case capabilities we have. This capabilities relates primary actors and secondary actor. So the cashier process sale. After processing sale means he will be interacting with payment authorization system and also he will be giving details to the inventory system. The manager analyzes the sale. So which good is purchased very often, which goes very fast. So this information, this analysis helps the inventory manager to keep the stock enough. So finally the administrator manages the entire system. Here the use case diagram for the next gen POS is given in a simple manner. So since the beginner of this subject, it is enough for you to draw this use case diagram for next gen POS. Hope you understand what is next gen POS, how to draw use case diagram. And this slide represents sequence diagram. Though you will be studying sequence diagram in detail in the next unit, here as a continuity, I have included this slide here. Use case and system sequence diagram. Just by looking at the sequence diagram, you are able to understand what the sequence diagram represents. Here, the sequence diagram represents the sequence of operations takes place in the system. That will be represented using the symbols. Later, we will see the symbols used in sequence diagram in detail. Just look at the diagram carefully so that you can understand what it represents, right? So here, the steps are given on the left hand side, whereas the right hand side we have drawn the corresponding sequence diagram. The cashier, what the step says, the customer arrives at POS, checkout with goods to purchase. The cashier starts a new sale. Here the cashier communicates with the system. Yeah, in front of the system, he is making it as a new sale. Then what he will be doing? He will be taking item one by one from us. He will be collecting item one by one from us, and he will be adding item into the item for billing. So right. So the system gives the description, total and everything. So he will be continuously doing this process until all items are added for billing. Again the same thing. That same thing who's interacting with each other, that is represented in sequence diagram. Hope you understand what is use case diagram and what is sequence diagram. Well, thank you students. But as an assignment for this topic, for this use case, I have shown next-gen POS. Now you try to draw use case diagram for airline reservation system. That is your assignment for this topic. Thank you for your patience, students. Bye.